There you go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Not very good at this stuff, mate.
No.
I just had problems with the internet and everything, mate. Kept dropping out and everything.
It took me a few minutes.
You all right?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you?
Old.
Old.
Old and stiff, mate. Ugh. Is that too bright? Do you want me to move this?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can see you all right.
Sure.
Yeah. How you coping with lockdown too? You still working and stuff, or?
Still working, mate. Yeah, I'm a gardener, so I work outside on my own. So I can social distance as far as you want, mate. Yeah. Not a problem at all. It's not been too bad, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you're still getting a lot of work this time of year.
Not now, mate. No, we're slowed down now. I've got time to do things like this with you.
Yeah. I really appreciate it.
So no problem, mate. No problem. Anytime. I look a bit different than I did 20 years ago, or however long it was, mate. But good times then.
Yeah. So I guess I kind of want to talk about obviously the game against Arsenal, but also just sort of like your career as a whole. So sort of like, where did it start with you? Was it like a football mad family? Did you know that you always wanted to be a footballer, or did it just kind of like find itself naturally? I
knew from a young age. I reckon I was about 8 years old when I used to watch Peter Shilton.
Yeah.
Was one of my favourite goalkeepers, Ray Clements. Rest in peace, Ray. And Pat Jennings, them sort of goalkeepers, that era of goalkeepers were absolutely unbelievable standard. And I used just to love watching them make saves and stuff like that. So in the good old days when you could go out and play with your mates in the park with a football, and I put jumpers down for goal posts, etc. I used to go in goal, and I used to love getting just hit with a ball. It was just a sick feeling. Right, well, weird, but I just love it, and they just knew from a young age that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I set out to do. That was my mindset from a really young age. But I wanted to be a professional footballer.
So who was like your sort of idol then? Like the goalkeeper that you sort of looked up to when you were younger?
When I was younger, it probably was, like we're talking 80s when I was growing up. So it would have been Shilts in that era, really. Obviously, England's record cap holder and stuff like that. It was just his consistency. He never really made errors. He was just very consistent, played to a high standard week in, week out. And I think he went and played on about 1,000 league games as well. So
yeah,
he was lucky with injuries to play that many as well. So fair play to him.
Yeah. Where did you sort of play like your youth football when you were growing up before Man United, obviously?
So if I take it right back, I just used to play for my local village team when I was 8, 9, 10. Like the under 12s and 13s, and then I got scouted by York City, where I was born in York, and they signed me up to play for their schoolboys, so they're under 13s, 14s, and 15s. So I'd go and play for them at a weekend and train on a Friday night with the team in York. And it came in, it built from there. Then from playing for like the under 15s, York City's under 15s and 16s, York City then offered me like what was called a YTS scheme then, like a youth training scheme. I don't think they do it now. It's all different now. So they signed me up a year early, offered me the deal, a 2-year YTS scheme a year earlier than everybody else. And so I knew I was going to go after school and play and train full time at York City. So that's when the journey really started, mate.
And you got scouted by Les Kershaw when you're at York City, is that right?
I've done your research. Well done, you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I joined York City on a full time basis. I think it was 93.
Yeah.
And then started playing for their youth team, York City's youth team, playing really well, working hard. And then I never knew Les was watching me. He watched well, not at the start, but he watched for about 12 months. Yeah, just to come on a Saturday. But then towards the end, when I started to find out, I used to see him wearing the jacket. You know, them big scout jackets with he used to have the Man United badge on and that. And he used to stand on in line with the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
I used to look over thinking, oh no. Oh, no, knowing who was watching me, but I was dead confident. I was playing really well. And Les had obviously done his research and gone back to Sir Alex and said, I think you might want to take a little punt on this lad at York City. So that's what Sir Alex did.
Was it quite intimidating then, knowing that you had a scout from a big club obviously watching?
Yeah, it wasn't. No. I actually thrived on it, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, when you're younger, you got no fear anyway when you're playing. Yeah. So I was quite confident. And I was playing really well, to be honest, at York. Yeah. At 16 / just 17. And that, yeah, I wasn't intimidated one bit, to be honest. I thrived on it. And like I said, that's what I wanted to do. So I was confident I was going to do it. And that's all I had in my mind. My mindset was just professional footballer. How far can I go? Simple as that.
So when did you sort of find out you were going to move to United? How did it sort of come about?
It's a great story, this.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the game in '95 where I think it was a Coca-Cola Cup then? Probably before your time.
Before my time, yeah.
Yeah. When were you born? What year were you born?
97.
Right, so before your time, not even born. Brilliant. So it was a Coca-Cola Cup at the time, and York drew Man United in a cup in the third round of the Coca-Cola Cup at Old Trafford. And this was coinciding with Les watching me for a while. And I never knew, but a deal was done before the game, before York City beat Man United at Old Trafford. I think it was 3-0. I'm sure it was 3-0. And a deal had been done, but I didn't know anything about it. So I got told. So we got back to York. We got the coach. Got the coach back, and then the secretary of York City tells me it must have been about 1 o'clock in the morning, saying York City's manager, who was Alan Little at the time, wants to see you in the morning. I said, well, thinking, well, I haven't done anything wrong. What's going on? He said, yeah, it's about a move to Man United. I said, what? He said, yeah, Man United want you. I went, what? Yeah, I need to see you at 9 o'clock in the morning. So obviously didn't sleep that night, and went to bed, didn't sleep, and went and knocked on Alan Little's door in the morning, 9 o'clock, for him to tell me, right, son, this is how it went. Right, son, Man United want to buy you, and you're going. Simple as that. We need the money. I said to him, well, what if I want to stay? It's like my boy, where I was born, I wanted to play for the first team. So not play for the first team at that time, but just U team and reserves. Yeah. He goes, no, we don't want you. You need to go. We need the money to buy a new training ground. So that was it. I trained with York that morning, and it was a Thursday morning. Then on the Friday morning, I travelled to Manchester to meet Sir Alex at Old Trafford in his office.
That must have been quite intimidating.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was. I remember it very, very, very clearly. He was, so I stood in reception at Old Trafford, and Kath was there. Kath's been there years, the secretary, no, the receptionist. She works at Carrington now, I think. And I was waiting there with my mum, and he comes downstairs, and the first thing he said, that's how I like my goalkeepers, nice and big. I'm like, oh. Right, yeah, pleased to meet you. Then we went upstairs and we met there was a chairman there, and I had a PFA representative representing me as an agent, which I never even organised. I don't even know where that actually came from, to be honest with you. I think that Man United must have organised it. Yeah. And we sat there, we had a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever it was, and Sir Alex just started talking about the club. Obviously, I knew all about the club, the history and stuff like that. And he just says, yeah, we're going to offer you a 4-year deal. This is what you're going to have. We're going to pay £300 in the first year, £350 in the second year, £450, £400 in the third year, £450 in the fourth year. So I was on £31.50 a week. So I'm thinking, wow, that's massive. So I was like, yeah, where's a pen? And there was a sign-on fee as well. I think it was like £5,000 a year. I was like, where's a pen? I wasn't even bothered what they were offering me anyway, to be honest with you. I was signing regardless. Obviously, why would you not want to sign for the biggest club in the world?
I imagine there was an awful lot of negotiation.
No, there was no negotiation. what he says you do. Simple as that. You don't.
Yeah.
Well, I never anyway. Well, I did try once, but that's another story to negotiate with him. But it's a hilarious story. But but anyway, that's what I did. So I signed there. We shook hands. He took us round the stadium, showed us the changing rooms, etc. It was absolutely brilliant. He's just a great man manager, Sir Alex. He just knew what he was doing, obviously. So that was it. Back in the car on the way back to York for a quiet weekend, as you say.
Yeah.
Because training started Monday, so I had to get back in and rest.
What was that kind of transition like from going from York to Man United? Obviously, not just the difference in quality for the players and the coaches, but the facilities and like you say as well.
Yeah, huge, absolutely huge. So York were obviously, I think then it was like Division 3, which would be League 2 at the time. And obviously then, so we were training on the park at York at the time.
Yeah.
So the dogs were just crossing the training field and all sorts. And then obviously you go to, which was then the Cliff at, in Manchester where they used to train, and facilities were great. But there were implants to build the Carrington, which was obviously state of the art at the time. So, but yeah, just everything was different from the kit being laid out for you. Just everything dead professional. You knew what you were doing, knew what you had to do. You had a dietitian there, Trevor, telling you what to eat, doing your fat tests with them little, what are they called, them little things. I can't remember. Anyway, pinching your fat and measuring your fat and stuff like that. So you had all that. Even the travel, the tracksuits, everything was like it should be for Man United, and which is obviously still is. It was just brilliant. So I was just going. I was like I could say a bit of a big fish at York. In a am I putting it?
Like a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah. Then going to being like a minnow in the sea.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You're just one of them. So I just turned up there. I turned up there Monday morning, met Sir Alex again and the coaches in their coaches' room, had a chat with them, and then I'd not signed yet, I'd not signed anything yet. And Sir Alex said, "Right, you're training, go and get your kit on." And I'd not even signed. So this was a Monday morning, and I turned up. So they had two training grounds. So they had the Cliff and the Littleton Road. I don't know if you know this. So we drove to Littleton Road, the other training ground, and my first session at Man United was a shooting session with Andy Cole and Eric Cantona. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God. You're kidding me. Because Eric was serving his band there, for his kick at Selhurst Park. He was doing his band, so he was training with reserves.
Yeah.
And Andy Cole joined him for whatever reason. So that was my first morning, not signed, doing a shooting session with Eric and Andy Cole. Actually did all right, to be fair. Yeah. Did all right. I held my own a little bit, but Eric did chip me a couple of times. I didn't say anything, though. No, I wanted to say something, but I didn't. But he did chip and give me a little like wink, sort of as like a welcome to Man United sort of initiation sort of thing. Get used to it. Yeah. He did chip me many times in the 7 years I was there, to be honest. But but yeah, that was my first morning at Man United. Absolutely brilliant.
So they weren't taking it easy. They weren't taking it easy then on the new body.
No, you don't. No, they did train, and they do train as the trainers who play. Yeah. It's dog eat dog. Yeah. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Ruthless. It was good. The training was good. It was like high tempo. How it should be. How we should play in a game.
So how long did it take you to start training with the first team? Because you must have learned a lot from watching Schmeichel train, for example.
Yeah, I had a good. So I had a good couple. I had a couple of years with the reserves and the youth team, and then Pete started to get a bit more. Started to rest more because he was getting a bit not injury prone, but he was struggling with his back and stuff like that. So he wouldn't train as much. So then I would get drafted in with me. So with me and Raymond Van der Houw, trainers. So I get drafted in quite well, more or less every day to train with the first team. So I had it was just a brilliant time. You don't realise that. You don't realise it at the time. It's when I look back now and I think, oh my God, you were training, especially with that '99 squad.
Yeah.
With Scholesy and Bex and obviously Giggsy. Even before that with Eric. It was just immense. So you look back at it now, you're training with these world-class players. And it was really good, yeah. So I'll say from '97 onwards, I was probably with the first team most of the time. And travelling away with them with first team around Europe, 97, 98, 99. Just gaining loads of experience and doing all right. I was doing all right. I was sharp. I was fit. I needed to play more games. And I think Sir Alex knew that. And that's when he sent me out on loan to Bristol Rovers. No, first loan was Hull City.
Yeah.
Hull City sent me on loan to Hull City over Christmas period to get some experience there for a month. And I think the manager was Warren Joyce, actually. And that's when it started. That's when I started to get some league experience, and did okay with that as well.
Who was the toughest player to train against then?
Toughest?
Yeah.
Scholesy.
Scholes.
Horrible.
I can imagine.
Horrible, and he still is. I've played against him a few times when I play in like charity games and stuff like that now, and fundraising games and stuff. And I've come across Scholesy a couple of times in the past couple of years, and he's still the same, still ruthless. He will still kick the ball in your face from a yard out. But again, he trains and he was like that in training, and he was like that in games. So he was a ruthless striker for me, and he could ping a ball so hard. He was the hardest shot I've ever saved. Scholes is. Didn't save many, to be honest, but top player, one of the world's best.
So in '99, obviously United just won the treble, and Peter Schmeichel's left. You've signed a new 2-year deal. So did you sort of see this as your opportunity to hopefully try and get some game time at that point?
Well, yeah, he's left and I signed a new deal. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe an opportunity to get maybe some cup games in. You know, can't remember what the cup games were called then now.
Charity
whatever. Yeah. Just anything. So I was thinking that I was training well. I'd been on loan. Hull did really well there. I only played 4 games. But 3 clean sheets. Just conceded 1 goal there. So yeah, so I started the next season hoping to crack on a bit at United. But then Sir Alex said, I'm going to send you on loan again. It's a full season loan at Bristol Rovers. So I was happy with that, to be fair. Going away, getting more experience. Big club down there, Bristol Rovers, great fan base. And Sir Alex had sent players out before, and they'd come back and done well. Like Bex went to Preston and stuff like that. Come back and obviously the story sells itself, doesn't it? But so I was happy to do that. So that's what I did. So I went to Bristol Rovers, and I played 54 games that season, 18 clean sheets, and we got relegated. Can't believe it. Couldn't believe it. We got relegated. We couldn't score. Yeah. We just drew loads of games 0-0 and stuff like that. We just couldn't score. And but it was a successful year for me personally. It went really well. So coming back to the next season, that's when I thought it's time to push on here and I'll see how far I can get with Man United.
Yeah. Did you ever consider going back to Bristol Rovers then? Was that ever an option, do you think? Because it sounds like
Bristol Rovers wanted to buy me, but I think Sir Alex put quite a big fee on my head, so it never materialised.
Fair enough.
I know. I don't know what the fee was. Probably about 10 quid or something like that.
So then let's talk about the Arsenal game, obviously. 1999.
Well, 99, yeah. So that season I've been... so this was a year before I'd gone to Bristol Rovers.
Yeah.
So I've been in and around the first team all season in 99. Traveling away with them, training with them every day. Fantastic season. That it's the weirdest season ever because everything just clicked. It was the team spirit was unbelievable. The the balance of the team was just ridiculously good. The spirit, the camaraderie, everything was just amazing. And I was lucky to be enough to be involved in it all. So this was early on in the season. Peter got injured. So obviously I've come in to be number 2 to Ray. Fine, absolutely brilliant. And I've done it a couple of times before, so nothing really out of the ordinary for me. So he'd named the team in the hotel in the morning at Arsenal. I was on the bench. Fantastic, brilliant. The days when the Arsenal Man United games were proper games. I don't know if you watched any of them back. Proper games, proper tackles, proper players. 2 really good teams, full of absolute world-class players, both teams. Proper rivalry, especially with the managers as well. Yeah. So that added extra. What's the word? Extra. I don't know. Extra.
It was the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the game of the season. Extra intensity to it. Yeah, puts an edge on it.
Yeah.
So we've done all our preparation that we usually do. Nothing really changed. Same preparation. It's just another game really for us, but with a little bit of an edge on it. And Keane scored a couple of goals that day, and it was coming towards the end. So running down the clock, bit of game management just to try and see it out 2-1, and a set piece. I think a set piece had come in, and someone had headed it, and Ray had saved it. Legitimate save in his hands, caught it on the line, in front of the line, 2 hands. Then Keown, being Keown as it was as a player, absolutely nails him, knees him right in the eye, and it was bad. Have you seen it back?
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Well out of order. Trying to claim a goal for it, whatever. He proper done him a treat.
Yeah.
And Ray obviously couldn't see out of his eye, gone. So he was down for a couple of minutes. Then I see Rob Swire, the physio at the time, turn around, go to Sir Alex, just go. Sir Alex just turns around to me and said, "Right, Nick, on you go." Oh, what? Right, just as blazing as that.
Yeah.
Right, Nick, on you go. Right, what? No warm up, no nothing. Just get your gear off. Just get yourself on. All right, no problem. No. Again, I wasn't nervous though.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous one bit. So I took me my jumper off, my tracksuit bottoms, put my gloves on. Steve McCarron says to me, "Right, Nick, just put it on Silvino's head." So Silvino was left back, I think, at the time. Just put it on there. Just put it on his head, and then we'll go from there. Right, no problem. Enjoy it. Right, okay. So I run on again. I was ready for it because I thought it was going to be at least 3 or 4 minutes. So I thought they're going to throw everything in here. Yeah. No, I was like, I'm going to come for it. I'm going to come for stuff. I was confident that I was enough to do that, and I was ready for it. I thought a little bit of a chance I can perform under pressure, especially in a high-profile game that it was, and what it meant to the fans and the manager and everybody watching all over the world. It was on Sky as well. I think it was a Super Sunday game. So I came on as I'm running on. Henningberg goes to me, "Nick, do you want me to take the free kick?" Which was going to be taken as a goal kick, obviously. I said, no. I think you actually see me saying no and shaking my head.
Yeah.
And so I get there, get the ball, and put it down as a goal kick, and I'm getting absolute dog's abuse off the fans, dog's abuse. But I was used to it because everywhere I went to United, in reserves, youth team, would get abuse anyway. Everyone was just jealous of us, and we were winning everything anyway. All the cups in the youth team, reserves, and whatever, we were just winning everything. So everyone was jealous of us anyway. So I was used to getting a bit of abuse.
Yeah.
And we'd even play in testimonials, and we'd still get abuse in testimonials. I remember going off the story a bit here, but I remember going to Cardiff in a testimonial game, and I was getting absolutely abused. And it's a testimonial for raising money for someone or whoever it was, can't remember. Anyway, so I put the ball down, and I was getting coins thrown at me. Also, you can't really see it on the TV, to be fair. And I lined up where I was kicking it, see where Silvino was, and strike the ball. beautifully and clean. This with no warm up or anything like that. Beautiful strike, mate, and the whistle goes. It just goes like that, and I run off celebrating that I just won the World Cup, mate. Because just because that's what it meant.
Yeah.
To the club, to the players, to the manager. Win's a win, whether played 3 or 4 minutes or 3 or 4 seconds. It didn't matter. The main objective was the 3 points, and that's what we got.
I was going to say the best thing about watching the video is your celebration afterwards, because I know as a fan, you know, I'd have to celebrate the same way.
Absolutely, with all the fans. That's what it meant to the players. That's what it meant. It showed that's what it was like, and it wasn't a relief. It was over because I wanted a few minutes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it was just the 3 points were in the bag. We go to the next game, which was a Wednesday night at Coventry.
Yeah,
away at Coventry. Where I was hoping I was going to play, because Ray's eye was out here black, but Ray been the toughest man I've ever known, the toughest goalkeeper I've ever known. He ended up getting himself fit, but Sir Alex was putting in the press. If Nick has to play, he'll have absolutely no problem. So he's knowing I'm going to be reading that. So he's managing me in the press there, so building me up confidence-wise, and I would have been all right. But anyway, Ray was fit for the Wednesday night, and I was sub again. So I think we won again, but I can't remember. We would have won. But yeah, great times, great experience, and £1,100 richer after it. With
I think the best thing about the story is the fact that you get a clean sheet bonus from the game.
Exactly, yeah. So I got the £500 that was in my contract, £500 a clean sheet, and the win bonus at the time was £600, so £1,100, mate. But what it did, that it activated a clause in my contract, which I didn't know it. I didn't know. I don't know who put these clauses in. It activated a clause in my contract to say that if Nick Culkin makes one appearance for Man United's first team, York City will get a pre-season game from Man United's first team. Really? So it activated a clause in my contract. So the next season, Man United had to go to York City to play a pre-season game there, which raised a lot. I think it raised a lot of money. I think it was 8,000 or 9,000 fans at Booth and Crescent, and it raised a lot of money for York City again. And they always said they should name a stand after me. The money they got out of the transfer fee and the pre-season game, but they won't. No. I'm only joking, York City, by the way.
Was the clean sheet bonus something that you had to negotiate for, or was it just something that's like?
I didn't negotiate anything. I just signed what I was given in front of me, mate. I didn't negotiate a thing. No, that's it. Why would I? Why would I push the ball as a young player? Maybe if you're an established first teamer like Keano, or the big hitters like Giggsy and Scorsese, and maybe you can negotiate, can't you?
Fair enough. Did you were you quite disappointed that you couldn't play more for Man United? Because I had a
little bit. There was a time. There was a time when Bosnich came in, and Bosnich didn't start well, and I'm sure he'd admit that. And then he was struggling, but I was fit. I was doing all right. I was playing well in the reserves. I think Mark might have got injured, but they ended up bringing Taibbi in. And then obviously that didn't go well either with Taibbi. And I thought my chance would have been around there in that time there, just to throw me in, just to see how I did, just to sink or swim sort of thing. I wouldn't have done any harm. It wouldn't have done any harm at all. Just for one game, 1 or 2 games, just to see how I did. But obviously it didn't materialise, unfortunately. But if I was good enough, I would have played. I obviously wasn't good enough, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. I've got no problems with that at all. If Sir Alex thought I was good enough to play and start a game, then he would have put me in. And I can't argue with his decision at all. So he obviously didn't think I was good enough to play the first team, and that's fine. Not a problem at all. But I still give it my best shot to try and get there. But I would have loved the little game. At that time, I think the fans would have loved the little youth team keeper coming through and having a go.
Yeah.
Like I think they'll have got behind it massively. And to be fair, Man United. I'd love to see a Man United youth team keeper come through the ranks one day.
Yeah.
And go and play 300-400 games for them. I'd love to see that. But that was a time when I wish I could have would have been the time to put me in. But I think I knew the writing was on the wall then. I wasn't going to play for the first team, and just keep going, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say you left in 2002, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
Rangers, and
that's right.
Played a few games there, but then ultimately career was cut short from a.
That's right.
Injury. Do you think that you could have? Because I think you were 26. You were still quite young, especially for a goalkeeper, obviously.
Yeah. I was young. Yeah. If I'd have stayed injury free, I think I'd have floated around League One, League Two. I think pretty comfortably. I played most of my games at that level quite comfortably. I think I'd have floated around there if I stayed injury free. But staying injury free is, you're lucky if you get through a career injury free, really.
Yeah.
But it was unfortunately, I got injured away at Swindon at QPR, just in a fair tackle as well. I just ran out and I was just sweeping up, and we just had a 50-50, me and this lad, and I just done my knee in. But I carried on. I just got back in the team at QPR. I carried on. My knee just swelled right up, and I did a lot of damage playing on. I should have come off, really. But I did it maybe pride, not coming off. Got back in the team, and he'll be all right. Idiot. I look back, idiot. Should never have done it. Should have come off, and it cost me a career at the end of the day. But I'm proud of my career.
Yeah.
It was a short career, and I achieved a lot what other players would never achieve, and experienced a lot of what other players would never achieve. So I'm proud of it, really. Gutted it got cut short. Yeah. But then I rested my knee for 5-6 years, and then had a little career in non-league for a bit. So, which I enjoyed again, which was successful again. So, it's not been all bad, mate. I'm very proud and very lucky for what I achieved.
I was thinking, you say obviously that you're at the sort of level that you're at. You could have gone on to maybe play a few more games here or there in the league, but I kind of think the way that you did it, the way that was your only appearance for the biggest club in the world against their biggest rivals. Do you not think it's kind of like, for me personally, I think I wouldn't have wanted another appearance because it's kind of like, you know
I know what you're saying.
You have that.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, and I know, and it's a record that'll never be beaten ever, and the stat will never be beaten. I mean, my name's even in the museum as an appearance, and how good's that? My name's in actually the Man United Museum.
On that, can you?
Isn't it? It's crazy, isn't it? And it's been like it's on quiz shows and stuff like that. It's a quiz question and stuff. I get it all the time. Oh, I've just heard this and this and this, and it is a crazy stat. It really is, and I'm glad I've got it.
Yeah,
I'm glad I've got it. You can't take it away from me now.
No,
and it's in the record books, and it'll never be beaten.
Yeah, surely not. I wonder how much time to the millisecond it actually was. Do you think?
I don't know. You know,
didn't play.
It's hardly anything.
You could have forgiven the ref for playing a few more minutes because of the injury.
I would have loved to give him like £100 to just give us a couple of minutes or something like that. But that would be against the rules. But no, brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. It's a great story. It really is.
I suppose the last question I have for you before I let you go is just what was it like working with Sir Alex Ferguson?
Oh, what was it like? He was tough, fair, honest, to the point. I got on well with him. I got on well with him. He was just, you would just want to go out, even when he watched us, like he'd watch the U team or the A team as it was, and the B team before the first team on a Saturday. So we'd play in the morning, then he'd go to Old Trafford and do the first team there. But I remember just if you see him watching you when you were playing in the youth teams, he'd still want to like run for a brick wall for him and stuff like that. That's what he had over you. Not over you, that's the wrong word. Just that's what you wanted to do. That's what was instilled in you. You give your best for him and the club and the badge. And he was just a great man to work for. Like I said, he was fair to the point. He stepped out of line, he'd tell you, which is fair enough, as he should do. But then it was forgotten. It was forgotten. Well, it was with me anyway. But Yeah, loved it. And again, how good's that? Having Sir actually a boss for 7 years.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, innit? Again, something that you can't take away from me.
Yeah. And who do you
Just a
think
great experience.
who do you think was sort of the best player for United around that era that you were there? Because obviously fans can have their opinions from games they watch and stuff, but you see these guys every week. So from like a technical aspect, ability wise, who do you think was probably the best that you saw?
I've got to say Scholesy, mate.
Yeah.
I've got to do. It was just phenomenal. It just phenomenal. I mean, the team was full of ability, characters, huge mental strength, and great camaraderie. It's just that team that team in them few years there, the 98, 99, 2000s, whatever, that era, that squad, phenomenal squad. They were probably one of the best squads United has ever had for me.
Yeah,
definitely.
Probably the best.
And I had a squad number in that squad. So how good's that?